Hi friends, my name is Ritu Khoda. I'm the founder of Art First. I'm going to talk to you about why is it important to have art in education and what is its relevance today. How is it that I started my journey and why I thought art was really critical in empowering our children, in developing their mind, in giving them a space where they would be able to own their own ideas, go into their own world of fantasy, of imagination, and to be able to create what they believe in. What is unfortunate is that this entire thinking, when they come into a school system and into the structures, why is it curtailed? Why is it curbed? Why don't we give them a space where they can really express and share their thoughts? We proposed a curriculum which was rooted in transformative thinking, and this required actually a paradigm shift from viewing the arts as suitable for a select few to a necessary manifestation of our multiple intelligences. When we started the Art First program, I think for us what was really important was to map the child and to look at their psychological development alongside their artistic development. And in the process, we realized that a 2-year-old, for them, it's all about accidental discoveries. It's about experiment. It's also about working with material. And that's how they make sense of the world around them. So our curriculum plugged that gap. When we looked at elementary school, which is age 7 to 12, now that is the age where they are coming in contact with their own self, they're developing their own identity. The concept of society, community is coming into their universe. Also, what happens at this stage is dawning realism is a big hindrance in their progress and growth. They want to imitate, they want to be very close to what they see, and that is what leads to a block in them. And for us, it was to see how do we get them to move away from skills and to look at more of how they're thinking, how they're observing, how they're envisioning, and which is what again plugged the gap through the curriculum that we created. But along that, what was also important was how do we transact that in classrooms? And it was important that we have mentors and teachers who are able to tap into their thinking processes, to bring in new thinking methodologies that can unfold the thinking process. And so we worked a lot with the educators and teachers by giving them mentor from the artist community, that they were able to think creatively, they were able to express differently, uniquely, and also understand that in a class of 40, if they have an expression to a particular problem, they have 40 different expressions to it. Our art teachers are really important to us, and what we've been attempting to do is break the colonial framework of art education and make our teachers thinkers, philosophers, researchers. And we're actually getting them to question their own practice. We're getting them to ask very pertinent question of, am I a teaching artist? How am I upgrading my knowledge and my skill? How am I contextualizing it for my children in the classroom? Am I a reflective practitioner? And at that point, we brought in an artist from the community who is very established, practicing, and very passionate about teaching to mentor these art teachers. And what's happening in the process is they're becoming conscious educators. They're actually taking the curriculum into the classroom spaces and creating a space for shared inquiry for our children. And they are actually working towards making them reflective practitioners themselves. But what got me to kind of look at the need for Art First books is that when we started to develop a curriculum, we also realized that there's very little which is available in the market. And it was important that we write about these artists and we make our children more aware of their own artists, their culture, what inspires them, how do they create, where do ideas come from. And this just became a passion project for us. And so we've been writing books now for the past 5 years. We've created 4 or 5 books. Our books are really, really interactive, and just the way art is, which is about engagement, our books have to be about engagement. And what we've created, I think, has given us such great joy, and without really expecting anything, because we were just putting ourselves out there, each and every book of ours has won an award. And the most recent one is for Art is a Verb, and it's written by Likla and designed by Rohina. And they've literally made it come alive. It is action through that book. And we just won a bronze
for this book, an IPI award, and most proud of this achievement because it was most unexpected and it was just the pure joy of creating that got us where we are. With all the work that we have done for the last 10 years and have gathered such deep insight related to the curriculum, the teacher and our students, what we thought was really relevant was to understand the landscape of art education in India. So we started an art education roundtables. We went to 7 cities across India and mobilized voices from the arts, from the space of policy making, pedagogy, cinema, theatre. And the insights that we gathered there, though very depressing, also gave us enough momentum to take our work forward. And what were those? The fact that we still have an outdated model of art education. Our teacher-student ratio is abysmal. There are very few trained professional art teachers in our school systems. Unlike subject teachers where they have B.Ed, we don't have art education program at college level for our teachers. What was the most depressing part was they're treated as decorators, and art is still not a core subject in most schools. It still has a marginal position in the space of curriculum. And our need was, how do we take all of this learning forward and try and impact change through policy? And so we collaborated with CBSE and IGNCA. And for the first time, I think in India, we hosted a summit where we had more than 100 principals, 400 teachers, 60 speakers from across the world who came and shared their thoughts. And what transpired was beautiful because we had such deep insight to say that we really need to localize our curriculum. We need to also kind of look at interconnectedness of the local as well as global. And how do we do that? How do we go about forging alliances and move away from our own spaces to looking at collaborations with people who are already working in this space? The other important thing that came out was, how do we really impact living curriculums? How do we bring in folk and Adivasi in a very non-hierarchical way that it can impact our own way of looking at art education? And with all of that, we decided to write a white paper along with IGNCA to take it forward to several states. We're hoping to do that post the COVID situation and see how we can really localize these curriculums and empower our teachers in each of the spaces to bring in their own creativity in forming their own curriculum and making it extremely non-prescriptive. We are attempting to bring art back in education, but never ever losing sight of our goal, which is to give voice to our children to share their tucked away parallel world of imagination.